The rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. The Ravens send their punter out now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
At their own 31-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And his throw is incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
Let's go. Panther 60, Panther 60.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Here we go, here we go. Cowboy 80.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16. The 2nd-round pick leading this offense well. It'll be a first down. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Let's go now. 77.
Here's the option. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
2nd and 14. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15.
It's 4th down.
And his kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
23-yard line.
You talk about this Jets defense. They're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And when you see a ranking like number 4 in the league against the pass, that's a testament to both their defensive coordinator and the general manager that crafted this unit, and now they're out executing.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He's got room past the 30. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Jets will take over possession here up at the 44. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Well, first down there on a pickup of 25.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They find some open field here. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 13-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping the second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Ready?
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Rattler. Come on. Set.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. They're going to look to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
70 Timberwolves.
They'll try to run this one in. Well, he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets add 6 to their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Well, the Ravens at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they were looking good until last week's loss took them from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder of the season to follow.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
10 at the 50-yard line.
Hey, report.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. That is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So the celebration in the end zone, but meanwhile we do have an injured player. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time I look and repeat that in Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he's brought down. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
A gain of 19 yards. First down, Jets.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Ready? 68, go!
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And the Ravens are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. A nice toss play there to the left. More than enough room to move the chains.
And you know what I love about that play as a broadcaster? Seeing the big guys move. Seeing them get upfield and take out defenders. You know what I hated as a defensive back? That exact same thing. Seeing those linemen coming downfield, getting ready to blot out the sun.
Tackle made that time by Aleem McNeil.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 1 yard and now no yards. Have him looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And that is no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Ready? 6.
Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hope it didn't come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And he is caught. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. That is going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Mike Green just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. He'll look to throw. He'll get that one to Taylor complete. And he takes a shot at the end of that play.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. In motion right is Wilson. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. In motion right, that's Wilson. Here's 2nd and 8. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Ravens 7. Harrison Davis to
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
at their own 28-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Report.
Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
3rd and 2.
Hey, Ozzy, sit up.
Now it's Jackson. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
The 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Ready. Help.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Down to about the 37.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
This one finds Wilson downfield. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
First down.
Back to throw here. Taylor there to bring it in on the crossing route. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 3rd and 3.
Ready.
He'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And his kick is right there. It's good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Ready, break. Go. Ready.
They'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The line of scrimmage for second and goal.
60 Vikings, go!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Mason Taylor in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a three-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. And that one too wide and incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he returns this to the 22.
Take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well. And most importantly, partner,
and they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go now. Panther 60. Panther.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here's Jackson to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Jackson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Jackson. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and now it winds up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Jackson now. A short throw caught by Andrews. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Now Jackson. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he will have the Ravens first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Report.
Throwing is Jackson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
At the 15-yard line.
To throw is Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU.
And this one nearly intercepted. Oh, that's a ball he thinks he should have had. Instead, maybe a chance for the offense to get 3 out of it after all. 4th down. So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during the series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. 77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Now on 1st down, he'll drop the thrower. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks him. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's 2 schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career. That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. so they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And he's got some space here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. 40 yards. And the Ravens take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 24-17.
Ravens 17. Tyler Luke to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down.
At the 37-yard line.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Taking in left side, it's Wilson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
It's a gain of 11.
That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Second and 9 now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Here we go, here we go. 70 Lions.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He'll try to do this himself. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 9 yards that time.
Brandon, you know I'm all about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it, I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the first down, kept fighting for yards.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Come on, come on. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4. The offense on 3rd down, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and a mile. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely That was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson. Yeah, he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Here now, 3rd and a yard.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. Now Lamar changing the play. Back to throw now on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Alpha, sit on! 180! 180!
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And this one not going anywhere. They get it at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
At the 44-yard line. A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 34-yard line. And now they'll shift things around.
At the 34-yard line.
Hey, middle.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
DC, ready?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
180! Sit on!
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Jackson from the shotgun. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Jets are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jets look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From the gun, Jackson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Jackson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 17.
Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. We've seen a bevy of those. This secondary, they've been pretty good, haven't they?
They certainly have. They've allowed the 1 touchdown through the air, and they're going to be upset about that later when they watch the game tape. But other than that, they've been absolutely rock solid.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position.
Get it.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 89 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Ready?
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 1.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Ready? Craft all 80.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. they take a knee.
Let's go now. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
And they will take a knee here.
Here we go, Scott. 70 Timberwolves.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Jets, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll try for a better outcome next week as they head to D.C. to take on the Washington Commanders. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner.